Welcome to a journey of transformation inspired by the timeless wisdom of Joseph Murphy. In this powerful message, we explore one profound thought that has the power to completely change your life. It's not just about thinking positively, it's about understanding how your subconscious mind shapes your reality, your destiny, and every outcome you experience. Open your heart and mind as we uncover the secret that can unlock your true potential and turn your deepest desires into living truth. Every great transformation begins with a single thought. It might sound simple, even too simple, but Joseph Murphy taught that one idea, deeply believed and consistently held in the mind, has the power to alter the course of your entire life. Our thoughts are not just fleeting mental images, they are creative forces shaping our reality. Every word we speak, every emotion we nurture, and every image we focus on plants a seed in the fertile ground of the subconscious mind. That seed eventually grows into the experiences we live. The thought you consistently dwell upon becomes your destiny because your subconscious does not question, reason, or analyze. It simply accepts and brings into form whatever it is repeatedly told. This means that the quality of your life, your health, your relationships, and even your circumstances are mirrors reflecting the dominant thoughts within you. The moment you truly understand that, you realize how much power you actually hold. Most people live as victims of their own mental patterns, unaware that their constant stream of self-doubt, fear, and limitation is what keeps them trapped in the same cycle. Joseph Murphy's wisdom awakens us to the fact that changing your life begins by changing your inner conversation. That one thought is not necessarily a grand revelation. It could be something as simple as, I am worthy, I am abundant, guided, or I am guided. When that thought is repeated with emotion and faith, it begins to penetrate the subconscious mind. The subconscious then aligns all your actions, emotions, and external opportunities to match that belief. You don't have to force life to change. You only need to transform the thought that controls it. Think about how every major invention, every revolution, every personal success story started with a single idea. That idea was nurtured, believed in, and given energy until it became a reality. The same principle applies to your life. The thought you choose to focus on can lift you out of despair or keep you chained to it. The human mind is like a garden. If you plant positive, empowering thoughts, you'll harvest peace and success. If you allow weeds of negativity to grow unchecked, they will choke out your potential. The one thought that can change your life must therefore be chosen with intention. It should be something that uplifts your spirit, expands your faith, and reminds you of your divine creative power. When you repeat that thought consistently, it begins to rewire your brain. Science today calls it neuroplasticity, but Joseph Murphy already understood this spiritual truth decades ago. The subconscious mind learns through repetition. Each time you affirm your chosen thought, you are carving a new mental pathway, replacing old patterns of fear and doubt with new patterns of confidence and possibility. Over time, your emotions begin to align with this belief. Your energy changes, and life starts to mirror it back to you. You begin to meet people, attract opportunities, and experience coincidences that validate your inner conviction. What once felt impossible now feels natural because your inner reality has shifted first. It's important to understand that this is not about blind positivity or ignoring life's challenges. It's about mastering the inner world so that the outer world naturally follows. When you hold a single powerful thought with unwavering faith, such as, everything is working in my favor, or I am divinely guided, you are aligning yourself with the creative intelligence that governs the universe. That intelligence responds not to words alone, but to belief. If you say, I am successful, while secretly feeling unworthy, the subconscious picks up the feeling, not the words. But when that thought becomes emotionally charged and accepted as truth, the subconscious begins to manifest it as experience. Every transformation begins when one thought becomes stronger than all opposing thoughts. This is why discipline of the mind is essential. You must guard your mental space like a sacred temple. Refuse to dwell on thoughts of failure, lack, or fear, because whatever you repeatedly focus on becomes your life's blueprint. Imagine your mind as a projector and your life as the screen. If you want a new movie to play, you must change the film reel within. That film reel is your dominant thought. The key is consistency. A thought held once is just an idea, but a thought held persistently becomes a belief, and belief is what moves mountains. You might start small, repeating your chosen affirmation every morning and night, visualizing yourself already living it, feeling the joy of it being real. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. It accepts both as true when deeply felt. So if your one thought is, I live a life of peace and purpose, and you repeatedly imagine and feel that is true, your subconscious begins to direct your behavior, choices, and circumstances to fulfill that reality. People often underestimate the quiet power of thought because it seems invisible. But invisible forces are the strongest in life. The wind that moves the ocean, the gravity that holds planets in orbit, the energy that beats your heart without your conscious effort. Thought is one of those invisible forces. When guided by faith and conviction, it becomes creative energy capable of reshaping any condition. Joseph Murphy emphasized that we live not by chance but by choice, the choice of our thoughts. When you learn to master that choice, you stop reacting to life and start creating it. One single thought, chosen with awareness, can ignite a chain reaction that transforms every area of your existence. It can lift you from despair to hope, from confusion to clarity, from limitation to freedom. You begin to see the world differently, not because the world has changed, but because your perception has. Your mind begins to attract people and circumstances that resonate with your new vibration. What you once feared loses its grip over you, and new doors open where you thought there were none. This is the power of conscious thought. The realization that you are never a prisoner of circumstance, only of your own mental conditioning. To truly change your life, you don't need 1,000 new ideas or endless external motivation. You only need one thought, deeply believed and lived from the heart. That one thought becomes your inner compass, your guiding light through every storm. It reminds you that you are the creator, not the victim. When that understanding sinks deep into your subconscious mind, it alters the very fabric of your reality. You begin to see that life is not something happening to you, it's something happening through you. Aligning your subconscious beliefs with your conscious desires is the secret bridge between wishing for something and actually living it. Most people consciously want success, love, peace, or abundance, but deep down, their subconscious holds opposite beliefs. They may say, I want to be wealthy, but inwardly they believe money is scarce or that they are undeserving of it. This internal conflict is why so many dreams never materialize. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious mind is like the engine room of your life. It carries out whatever instructions it receives, whether good or bad, true or false. Your conscious mind is the captain, but if the captain keeps giving mixed orders, the ship drifts aimlessly. To align your subconscious beliefs with your conscious desires, you must train your mind to operate in harmony with your goals, allowing both levels of your mind to move in the same direction instead of pulling against each other. The conscious mind is where you think, plan, and reason. It's where you make decisions and express intentions. But the subconscious is where the real power lies. It is a storehouse of habits, emotions, and past experiences. It governs automatic behavior, how you react to stress, what you believe about yourself, and how you interpret the world. The subconscious mind does not argue. It accepts whatever it's told repeatedly, especially when those ideas are emotionally charged. That's why even if you consciously affirm, I am successful, if you still feel deep inside that you're not good enough, your subconscious will keep manifesting conditions that confirm your inner doubt. Aligning these two minds means planting new seeds in the subconscious until they grow stronger than the old roots of fear and limitation. This process begins with awareness. You cannot change what you don't recognize. Notice the moments when your inner voice contradicts your desires. If you want love but often think, people always leave me, that belief must be reprogrammed. If you want abundance but constantly feel anxious about money, that emotion is a signal of inner misalignment. Your conscious desire and subconscious belief are like two musicians playing different tunes. It creates noise, not harmony. The goal is to bring them into perfect rhythm through repetition, imagination, and emotion. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions align, manifestation becomes effortless because the energy flowing through you is undivided. Repetition is one of the most powerful tools for reprogramming the subconscious mind. The thoughts you repeat daily become the beliefs your subconscious accepts as truth. Joseph Murphy often said that the subconscious is like soil. It doesn't care what seeds you plant. It will make anything grow if nourished long enough. This means you must choose your mental seeds carefully. Affirmations like, I am confident, I am blessed, or I attract success easily should not just be said mechanically, they must be felt deeply. When you repeat them with conviction and emotion, you begin to convince your subconscious of their reality. The more you affirm your chosen idea, the less room there is for doubt. Eventually, the new belief replaces the old one, and your outer life rearranges to match the new inner pattern. Visualization is another powerful way to align both minds. The subconscious speaks in the language of images, symbols, and emotions. When you vividly imagine yourself living your desired reality, your subconscious accepts it as already true. The key is not to force it, but to feel it. Imagine the sensations, the emotions, the peace of already having what you want. When that feeling becomes natural, you have successfully impressed the subconscious. It begins to create situations, coincidences, and opportunities that lead you toward your vision because it always seeks to express what it believes to be real. That's why Murphy said, your subconscious mind is like a faithful servant. It will bring to pass whatever you habitually think about. The moment your emotions and imagination agree with your conscious intention, the subconscious starts its work of manifestation. Another crucial step in alignment is emotional coherence. Emotions are the energy that power your thoughts. You can't attract joy while vibrating in fear. You can't experience love while holding resentment. The subconscious listens more to how you feel than to what you say. That's why inner healing and forgiveness are vital. Releasing old emotional wounds clears the path for new beliefs to take root. When you forgive, you remove emotional resistance and open your subconscious to receive new patterns of thought. Aligning the subconscious is not just mental, it's emotional and spiritual. It requires cleansing the heart of negativity and planting feelings of gratitude, trust, and faith. When these emotions dominate, your subconscious naturally aligns with higher outcomes. Faith plays an extraordinary role in this process. Murphy emphasized that faith is not just religious, it's psychological certainty. It's the unwavering knowing that your desire is already fulfilled in the invisible realm of thought. When your conscious mind believes deeply in something, and your subconscious accepts that belief without question, manifestation becomes inevitable. Faith bridges the gap between the seen and unseen, between desire and reality. That's why it's important to affirm, visualize, and feel as if your wish has already come true. The subconscious does not operate in future tense. It only responds to what feels real now. So when you hold the feeling of already being the person you wish to become, the subconscious begins working to make that identity a lived experience. The environment you live in also affects subconscious alignment. The conversations you engage in, the media you consume, and the people you surround yourself with all influence your inner programming. Negative influences reinforce doubt and fear, while positive environments strengthen faith and confidence. You must become intentional about what enters your mind. The subconscious absorbs impressions constantly, even when you're not paying attention. Surround yourself with uplifting words, affirmations, music, and ideas that reflect your desired reality. Consistent exposure to positivity helps retrain your inner world to match your outer goals. Sleep is another powerful gateway to subconscious alignment. The moments before sleep are when your conscious mind relaxes and the subconscious becomes most receptive. This is the ideal time to feed it with positive affirmations or visualizations. As you drift into sleep, your last thoughts imprint deeply into your subconscious, influencing how you think and act the next day. If you fill those moments with worry or fear, you reinforce negativity. But if you fall asleep with thoughts of success, peace, and abundance, you activate your subconscious power to manifest them effortlessly. This is one of the most effective ways to align your two minds, because the conscious resistance is minimal when you're relaxed. Patience and persistence are essential in this process. You can't expect instant change because the subconscious operates by momentum. Old beliefs that have been reinforced for years take time to dissolve. But every time you affirm your truth, visualize your success, and act in alignment with your desired state, you are rewiring the foundation of your reality. The shift may be invisible at first, but it's happening beneath the surface. Slowly your thoughts and feelings begin to harmonize, and the outer results follow naturally. You begin to notice synchronicities, opportunities, and subtle shifts that confirm the alignment taking place. Within the most profound sign that your subconscious is aligned with your conscious desires is inner peace. You no longer struggle, chase, or doubt. You simply know. You move through life with confidence, knowing that the universe is cooperating with your inner conviction. You start to act from a place of inspiration rather than desperation. Life begins to flow and manifestation becomes effortless because there's no longer internal division. The conscious mind sets the direction, the subconscious provides the power, and both move as one creative force. This is the harmony Joseph Murphy described, the perfect partnership between thought and belief, where every desire is supported by faith and every dream is backed by inner certainty. Reprogramming the mind through faith and repetition is one of the greatest secrets to transforming your life from the inside out. Every human being lives according to mental programs that were formed over years of experiences, beliefs, and emotional conditioning. Many of these programs operate silently beneath awareness, shaping behavior, decisions, and outcomes. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious mind is like a recording device that plays back whatever has been impressed upon it most often and most emotionally. If you grew up hearing messages of fear, limitation, or self-doubt, those beliefs became embedded in your subconscious as truth. But through faith and repetition, you can override any negative pattern with empowering beliefs that align with your true potential. The subconscious is always listening, always learning, and always responding to the dominant thought patterns of your conscious mind, which means you have the ability to reshape your destiny by consistently feeding it new instructions rooted in belief and conviction. Faith is the activating energy of this process. Without faith, repetition is mechanical and powerless. Faith gives life to the words you speak and the thoughts you repeat. It turns simple affirmations into creative commands that the subconscious obeys. To reprogram your mind, you must first believe that change is possible. You must believe that your mind is capable of healing, growing, and creating new outcomes. This belief opens the subconscious like fertile soil ready for planting. Each repeated statement of faith becomes a seed that eventually blossoms into reality. Repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity creates acceptance. Over time, the subconscious begins to accept these new beliefs as truth, not because they are proven externally, but because they are reinforced internally with conviction. The subconscious mind learns through constant exposure. Just as habits form through repeated actions, mental habits form through repeated thoughts. If you continually tell yourself, I am healthy, I am strong, or I am blessed, these affirmations start to replace thoughts of weakness, fear, or lack. But they must be repeated with feeling, not just words. Emotion is the language of the subconscious. When you speak your affirmations with deep belief, imagining and feeling them as already real, your subconscious records them as truth. The more vividly and emotionally you affirm your new reality, the faster it becomes imprinted within. Joseph Murphy often said that faith is the bridge between thought and manifestation. Faith transforms repetition from an intellectual exercise into a spiritual act of creation. Many people give up before seeing results because they expect instant change. But just as a seed takes time to sprout beneath the soil, mental reprogramming requires patience and consistency. Every repetition strengthens new neural pathways in the brain while weakening old ones. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but Murphy described it long before science confirmed it. He knew that whatever you hold in your mind with faith and persistence eventually appears in your outer life. The subconscious doesn't care whether a belief is good or bad, true or false. It simply accepts what is repeated, most often with emotion. That's why negative self-talk is so destructive. Each time you say, I can't, I'm not good enough, or nothing ever works for me, you are giving the subconscious instructions to create more of the same. The only way to change those patterns is to consciously replace them with empowering beliefs and repeat them until they dominate your inner conversation. Repetition works best when your mind is in a relaxed, receptive state. The moments before sleep or just after waking are especially powerful because the conscious mind is quiet and the subconscious is open. Repeating affirmations or visualizing your goals during these times imprints them deeply. As you drift into sleep, your last thoughts enter the subconscious and continue working throughout the night. Over time, this nightly practice rewires your inner programming. You begin to notice subtle changes in how you think, feel, and react. Negative patterns lose their grip, and new positive tendencies emerge naturally. You may find yourself speaking more confidently, attracting better opportunities, or handling challenges with calm assurance. These are signs that your subconscious has accepted new commands and is now guiding your life accordingly. Faith magnifies the power of repetition because it eliminates doubt. Doubt is like static that interferes with the signal being sent to your subconscious. When you have faith, your thought energy becomes focused and pure. Faith means knowing the result before seeing it, trusting that the unseen reality you affirm will soon manifest in the physical world. When you repeat a belief with faith, it's as though you've already received what you desire. That inner certainty becomes magnetic, drawing to you the people, circumstances, and opportunities that match your belief. This is why Murphy emphasized that faith is not something you acquire from outside. It's a state of consciousness you cultivate within. Faith is the deep awareness that the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind can bring forth whatever you truly believe and expect. Visualization can strengthen this process of repetition and faith. When you picture your desired outcome clearly in your mind and repeat affirmations that support it, you engage both imagination and belief. The subconscious responds powerfully to images combined with emotion. Imagine yourself already living in your desired state, feeling the joy, gratitude, and satisfaction of it being real. As you do this repeatedly, your subconscious begins to interpret the image as reality and sets into motion the conditions necessary to make it so. Repetition of visualized emotion is even more powerful than words alone because the subconscious doesn't distinguish between imagination and actual experience. What it believes to be real, it works tirelessly to reprogram your mind effectively. It's important to maintain consistency. Sporadic repetition won't create lasting change. The subconscious requires daily reinforcement to replace deeply ingrained patterns. Set aside time each day to affirm, visualize, and feel your new reality. Use short, powerful statements in the present tense such as, I am confident, I am successful, or I am guided by divine wisdom. Speak them aloud or silently with sincerity. Write them down. Surround yourself with reminders of them throughout your day. The more your mind is exposed to these new beliefs, the faster they become automatic. Repetition turns conscious effort into subconscious habit, and once the subconscious accepts a new habit, it continues to operate it effortlessly. It's also essential to remove contradictions from your thoughts and speech. If you affirm abundance in the morning, but complain about lack in the afternoon, you send mixed signals to your subconscious. Consistency in thought, word, and emotion creates the clarity needed for manifestation. Every time you feel doubt or negativity creeping in, gently redirect your mind back to your affirmation. Over time, this mental discipline strengthens your focus and deepens your faith. The old patterns lose power because you stop feeding them with attention, and the new ones grow stronger because you keep watering them with repetition and belief. Reprogramming your mind through faith and repetition also requires gratitude. Gratitude is the emotional state that confirms belief. When you feel grateful for something you've asked for, even before it appears, you tell your subconscious that it already exists. That feeling of completion activates the creative power within you. The subconscious begins to manifest more experiences that match the emotion of gratitude. When you practice gratitude daily in combination with faith-filled repetition, you align yourself with abundance and flow instead of lack and struggle. Gratitude is faith in action. It's the vibration of knowing that your desires are already fulfilled in the unseen realm. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. What once required conscious effort soon turns into a way of being. You begin to notice that your thoughts are automatically positive, your reactions calmer, and your outlook brighter. This is the result of new subconscious programming taking hold. Through faith and repetition, you've built a new inner foundation from which your entire life unfolds. The subconscious mind is not your enemy, it is your greatest ally once properly trained. It mirrors back to you the beliefs you hold most deeply. By choosing faith over fear and repetition over resistance, you give your subconscious the blueprint for the life you truly want to live.